What's up, YouTube? I am back from vacation. I was in Miami for Rolling Loud this past weekend, but I am super stoked to get another video out to you guys. Today I have another crop top, nice mid drop skin fade is what I'm doing. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and press the notification bell. Become a part of the family and start learning how I cut hair. For this haircut, starting with the top, wetting the hair, and I'm going right to the back there where the growth pattern starts. That's where you're going to be able to tell where all the hair is growing and in what direction it wants to grow naturally. So after I wet it, I'm going to then start from growth pattern to growth pattern, recession to recession. I'm going to use my comb to draw a line and separate the hair on the sides and on the top. When I say this, I don't just mean the hair on the sides and the hair on the top. This means all that hair where that line splits, all the hair growing to the right and all the hair growing forward. Wherever the hair wants to grow naturally and lays naturally without trying to fight you. That is what I mean. On the other side, same thing. Crown to corner, in other words, growth pattern to growth pattern, section out, and just make sure all the hair is laying as natural as possible. Now, I'm starting my foundation in the back, and when I pull down from that point there, you should see short bit, long bit in the middle. It's not always going to be like this, but when you start cutting your client's hair like this, this is what it should eventually look like. When you section it out like this and pull down, that's what you should get. You should always get a short bit, long bit in the middle. Chop that long bit off. That will be your travel guide all the way around the foundation. And literally just keep pulling down and create your foundation. I create my foundation going all the way around the right side of the head. Then I come back, pick up my foundation where I first cut it, and continue it around the other side. Now, once the foundation is set, I'm going to go into another zone. Right above the foundation, around the back of the head, I'm going to section from the crown down to the back of the right ear. And that's going to give me this zone around the back of the head. The hair grows a lot more dense. You can see there, it's all laying over top of my foundation that I just created. So I'm just going to elevate that zone around the back of the head and trim that extra weight. I'm going to continue that all the way up around the head till I get to the back of the ear. I'm on the left side right now. And once I get to the back of the ear, I'm going to change elevation and I'm going to pull it back down and just blend that into the foundation. So I work my way up into the foundation, and as always, I work my way back for precision. Same thing on the other side. As you can see, I sectioned right to the back of that left ear now, and I'm left with all this weight that hangs over my foundation. Just elevate up into that zone. It's not the foundation, it's the zone above the foundation. Elevate up. Once you hit the ear, straighten out into the foundation. You can see there, I was just scissor over combing into my foundation on the sides because it wasn't really that long. Now, he doesn't want a lot off, so as always, my next step is to dissect the middle, make another section right down the middle from the back of the crown where the growth pattern starts up to the front, growth pattern to growth pattern, and I'm just going to then attack them zones to the right and left of the top of the head. I'm going to show you guys on a mannequin where all these zones are in a separate video where I show you all my sectioning, so bear with me. For right now, just try to keep up. I'm on to a different zone now, the sides of the top of the head. When I section it in the middle, I'm elevating up into them zones. I did the left side, and now on the right, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to elevate up into them zones and just trim a little bit off. He didn't want too much off. So once I'm done that, I'll refine a little bit, scissor over comb, but as you can see, there's not much. Everything is nice and even, and I have one last zone, which is zone 5. That is the middle top of the head going around the back to exactly where we started our foundation. I'm going to lift up, pull all the hair up to that point where we started our foundation, where we cut that long bit off. You can see the travel guide was there. Just keep going, elevating up into that 5th zone all the way to the front, and then as always, cut back for precision. I said, if you follow these steps, you don't have to section, you don't have to section off the entire middle by itself and then section off each side of the top. Right here, you can see I'm evening all that out by point cutting. right across the entire top of the head. I want a nice square shape. I want it to blend into the sides evenly. So I'm just point cutting all the way across the front, from the front all the way to the back. Point cutting all the way from the front to the back, straight across. I'm then coming up to the front and point cut the front. I'm not adding much texture before I do my clipper cutting. I'm just drying the hair off and getting ready to now use my clippers. You can see there I was just checking it out wet before I blow dry it to make sure it's all nice and even, but still has a nice textured look. For this cut, I used a 3 guard on my Babyliss clipper, which is equivalent to the wall guard. And as you can see here, just opening up my 3 guard and using my comb a little bit to blend up into that foundation. Clipper over combing with that into the foundation is just smoothing it right in, blending it into the foundation, no problem. Underneath all that, I closed the 3. So right here, I got the 3 closed. I'm gonna close it, cut up into your foundation, and open it up when you get to that foundation. Open it up and just clipper over comb all around into the foundation. Now you see, I'm refining, because most people, as always, will tell you to clipper over comb, no guard. I would normally tell you that too, but I just did that quick, because I knew I wanted the 3 to be the side length. And now look at how much less I have to clipper over comb. I debulked the entire foundation going into the top with my 3 guard open, clipper over comb, and then no guard, clipper over comb. Once that's done, I start my first guideline on the fade with my Babyliss trimmers. Use my Babyliss trimmers to set the first guideline, and my Andis Masters to set the second guideline, which is my half section. Now as you see, with the half section and my skin section set, I've got all my lines to fade out. I'm just using my 2 guard to lighten up that zone going into the foundation, lighten that line up above my fade section, and then I'm gonna just complete the entire half section, my fade section, right around the other side. I'm gonna speed through this. Now on the sides, same steps as always, guys. My skin section and my half section will give you these lines left. Right in the middle, use the 3 to level that down. Maybe I could have just grabbed the 2, but I went 3, 2, 1 because I did it quick. All of this was so quick. It didn't matter how many times I turned around. It was quick because I used these steps. Now, as you can see, I'm moving through this real quick. I got my 1 guard on my Masters, and I'm just flicking that middle line out that my half, the Masters open, created. I'm already done half of this fade right now, and the only line to fade out is that bottom skin line. I always get the bottom skin line out with my wall seniors or my wall magic clips. I always have the 1 guard on there in case I push a line up, or in case I want to not push the line up. I take my 1 guard and I just flick with that. I'm doing this all around the back of the fade, same thing around each side, and as you can see, I'm really only coming back with my 1 guard to detail it up a little bit, and I'm right into my shape up. Shape up, I'm using my Andis T outliners. I used my corded T outliners and my corded Masters for the majority of this fade. The walls are the only ones I really use to get the bottom line out and a little bit of detail to get that middle line. Now, as you can see, I'm just cleaning up this fade, detailing it with my Masters. As always, I detail fades with my Masters. You hear the crunch, so it's always a known fact when I'm cutting. Spinning them around to the other side, and I'm getting that bottom line out over there with my walls. And then as you can see, easy money that side. I'm just flicking up, blending that middle line out. Now I might have used my 0 guard a little bit to add detail, blending that middle line out that I created with my half section, but not too much. For the majority of this, I used my 1 guard on the Andis Masters to blend that middle line out, and maybe just my Andis Masters open. Now, time to add some texture to the top. To add a little more texture, I wet the hair, and then by placing the bottom blade on the head and running that through across the top of the head, almost for this cut I did it a little bit of an angle, not completely straight across. I'm just using my top finger and I'm just feathering texture through the hair. I'm not moving the bottom blade and I'm not trying to rip the hair through there. I'm just feathering it in and just guiding it across the head. I also used a razor to straighten out the front hairline a little bit, not a feather razor, just a straight blade. And I even used that same razor to feather out a little line that I seen in the fade with my comb. While I have the razor in my hand and I'm texturing, I just use the razor to clean up my C cups. I got all the stubbles off of my C cups, clean that up. Continuing to use my razor to refine any spots I see, any lines. I'm just tapping them out with my razor and my comb and just making sure the entire foundation blends into the sides smoothly, because the top is completely textured now. The front is nice and even. If I wanted to make the front super straight, I would have shortened it and used trimmers to make more of a straight hairline, but that's not the type of haircut he likes. As you can see here, I'm just messing with the hair to make sure when I dry it and throw that texturing powder, it's all going to be textured up top, but smooth and a nice consistent blend on the sides, going into the sides from the foundation. My C cup rounds up and goes right into the front hairline, but it's not perfectly straight. The C cup goes into it. There's no sidebars. Now that I've double checked everything wet and almost dry, I completely dry it and I put my Claim 13 texture powder in there. Sprinkling that through there, I also added a little bit of matte clay to just kind of give it a nice hold. And I'm just messing with the hair because he has very thick hair. So when I'm messing with the texture, I can put a little more product in there to give it a nice hold. As you can see here, nice and smooth all throughout that foundation, and nice clean texture up top. This cut, I really like how the texture sits up top, but the sides, when you push them into the top, it all just blends smoothly. These are the basic steps to any forward flowing haircut that I do. I have different steps for any backwards flowing haircut, but this cut just happened to be a textured crop top with a drop skin fade. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I look forward to showing you guys more scissor cuts and get more into depth with more forward flowing haircuts. Throw some comments below on what you guys want to see, what you guys aren't understanding, or what you guys want to understand more of. The way I cut will allow you guys to cut creatively when you can fully understand why I'm doing everything that I do. All that texture in the back you're seeing here flowing into that drop fade, all of that is purposeful. This is what I meant for this haircut to look like, and you guys will be able to do this too. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed so far. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And I also appreciate everyone who's checked out my new drop on nopushbacks.com. Hot. I just dropped these bathing suits and I'm overwhelmed with how many people have shown love. A lot of you guys have also subscribed to the YouTube, so I really appreciate that. I'll catch y'all in another video. Peace.